Hey everybody, this week we have a first actually. We are covering an album we've already done before with somebody new. We like to get different perspectives. Some people are afraid to do albums that are, or they avoid really, fear really doesn't enter into it at all. They avoid doing albums that have already been done before, but that's not really the point because each person to the person is going to have some different perspective on an album, and you can really see how it influenced them and their comedy. So Graham Elwood, who is awesome, great stand-up comedy film nerds podcast, and did the film Afghanistan, came on, and we talk about Free to Be You and Me again. It's a very weird thing. A lot of people have brought it up this year, and a lot of people have actually wanted to do it. Jeremy wants to do it, so we may do it a third time. I can't guarantee that, and if anybody's upset by the idea of doing it a third time, let me know, but I really think it'd be fun, because, Jeremy's generally an awesome guy. I hope you enjoy this episode. I did. It was great. And also, I think you should go to grahamelwood.com because everything is there. So convenient. Just go there. All of his stuff, his podcast, Twitter, his book, too. We didn't even bring up the book, but there's a Comedy Film Nerds book. Go there. And also, if you would, go to a drinking game on Facebook or adrinkinggame.com. But yeah, go to a drinking game, not the drinking game, a drinking game on Facebook. Like us and check us out in Top Gun in LA, February 16th, Next Stage Theater. Thanks again, and enjoy the episode. Hey everybody, welcome to Comedy on Vinyl. This week I have Graham Elwood with me. Thank you so much for being here.
Sure thing, man.
I appreciate it. So you wanted to people whenever they do the podcast or want to do the podcast, or when I ask them to, they say, "Have you already done this? I don't want to do something somebody else has done, but I want to do that." So we're doing Free to Be You and Me again, and there's a cat.
Hello.
So enjoy. Cat, really, sweetheart. You know what? This is fun. Hey Jen, you want to take the cat? Here you go. She's adorable, but. Yep. Yep, there we go. Candid podcast moments that you don't get anywhere else. Fuck. Okay.
I see you have Jonah Ray's album here.
I do. He came here and signed it for me.
Nice. Did he do the show?
Yeah, he talked about Emo Phillips.
Oh, wow.
It was a really good episode. It was a lot of fun.
Emo Phillips, is very funny, man.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was good. It was nice having. Nobody releases their stuff on vinyl anymore. Only 2 new releases on this show ever. There's that one and this Ernie Kovacs thing that just came out a few months ago.
Oh, nice.
It's awesome. Amazing. Got to speak to his wife's son. And it's very nice guy. Very, very cool. Anyway, sorry. So Free to Be You and Me. Would not have been what I would guess you might pick. But I'm curious what...
Well, I think initially I wanted to do a Steve Martin album, but you said you've done those.
Sure.
Because the Steve Martin album... my family would sit around and listen to it.
Yeah.
Like old school.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember laughing about all that. So if that's been covered.
We've done one. We did Let's Get Small, but we haven't done any of the other Steve Martin albums.
Which
actually
are...
Comedy is Not Pretty.
Comedy's Not Pretty. And then there's...
I should know this stuff better than I do.
I should know this too. I listen to all of them.
Yeah. There's the two sides. No, the Steve Martin Brothers is that the name of the album? There is an album where he plays the Steve Martin Brothers, quote unquote.
God, what is it? Oh, this is dumb that I don't know all this.
I feel like an ass.
Anyway,
but yeah.
Here's how I came to Free to Be You and Me.
Yeah,
so then that opened the doorway into my childhood,
mm-hmm.
and that album. As a kid in the 70s with hippie parents, that was that was sort of a must-have. I guess that was sort of a requirement if you were going to be a hippie parent, is to make your kids listen to that.
Yeah.
And Marlo Thomas. But most profoundly, I think, is It's All Right to Cry.
Yeah.
And I saw Rosie Greer at a bank in Santa Monica maybe 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And I almost went up and I'm sure I wanted to go up and hug him, but I'm sure he's sick of seeing another guy in his 30s who is told it's okay to cry, Yeah. So, but that's what I wanted to say, because I remember that song, and the fact that he was this big, tough football player.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember, oh my God, he's a big football player. Because I remember Free to Be You and Me, It's All Right to Cry. And the fact that some NFL guys, specifically Lynn Swann and a couple other receivers, studied ballet.
Right.
Like my mom and like older sisters, this is in the thick of 70s feminism. When I'd be like, I don't want to do dancing or whatever, that's girly. They'd be like, professional football players do it, and then being told by Rosie Greer that it is in fact all right to cry because it gets the sad out of you. You know what? It just might make you feel better. Those things highly impacted my life.
I bet. When did you first hear it then? Like, how old were you? Do you know when you first listened to it?
Probably 4 or 5, 6, something like that.
Yeah, that shit sticks with you then.
Yeah, it totally sticks with you.
Wow.
And then that was the song that stuck out the most. And then all of the other songs about acceptance. It's such a 70s song. The album cover.
Oh, yeah.
Everything about it is the 70s. But it's kind of like, as I look at a can of Billy beer that you have on your shelf, it's sort of to me like it is the embodiment of everything the 60s and 70s was trying to do.
Yeah.
Like all of their good things.
Sure.
They made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like, this is, we're going to talk about getting along and it's okay to express your emotions.
Right.
And if you think about it, it seems, obviously we look back on it now and it seems sort of ridiculous or whatever.
Sure.
But I talked to my I have 6 nieces and nephews and my brother has 3 kids and he's told me on numerous occasions, like, man, Graham, these kids shows now, they're so positive and supportive and uplifting. And, we watched the Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner and just like getting
the shit beat out of
you. Yeah, you just wanted to fucking kick someone's ass and thump them with a big hammer,
right.
Or blow them up or, and even some of those really early Bugs Bunny ones, some of them are really racist.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's like in blackface and stuff. I mean, they're horrifying.
Yeah, they don't release those anymore.
No, that's weird. But really, those aren't out. They're not.
It's very odd.
They're not on Blu-ray. I would think that they would be. So to kind of put "Free to Be You and Me" in its context of the 70s now, and that's kind of one of the many places that the 60s and 70s was one of the things it was fighting in terms of its old way of thinking and counterculture, whatever you have, was this idea of men. Suck it up. Don't show your emotions. I mean, that's still today. That's still very prevalent today. But back then, you watch any of the TV shows, like the cop shows that I grew up watching, which inspired me to do that character Kent Stryker that I did at the podcast festival. Those guys, all those TV cops were tough guys.
Yeah.
Most of them vets. None of them cried ever. They maybe would breathe heavy into their whiskey or whatever. But you know what I mean? They never just guys just didn't show their emotion. So that was sort of the 70s wanting to say that that's okay. And the whole, the diversity of that, what that album was trying to embrace too. Like that was we're coming out of civil rights. We're coming out of the women's movement. And so it is, and I remember that as a kid. I lived in Madison, Wisconsin, which is a very liberal, hippie college town. And that diversity and, at its best, the purest intention of the diversity is like sort of what that album is to me. Is like we can all get along and what's that one song where the one kid wants a doll?
Yeah.
He wants a doll, and they're making fun of him or whatever. And I guess that album's saying it's okay that your son's going to be gay.
Right.
So it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's not a bad thing. But it also is. You see, sort of the kind of the didn't think it through-ness of the 70s.
Yeah.
Like a kid wants a doll, and obviously, if your young son wants to play with a doll, I don't think you should like chastise him.
Sure.
And, I don't want my kid turning out queer or whatever. Like, you don't want to do that.
Right.
But also that the 70s have not, like, I'll go to, since I run a film podcast, there was a documentary that came out a year or two ago about a family that was raising chimpanzees. It was in the 70s. And this documentary was looking at it was a documentary that was done, or a TV show, I think, that was done in the 70s. This family, they're raising chimpanzees.
Okay.
And then this documentary today was sort of looking back from today.
Oh, okay.
And one of the interviews with the women, who was like a young girl at the time in the 70s, like, we had a pet chimpanzee. And then isn't it cute and neat? We're living with the animals, and it's the 70s, and everything's free and love. And then, the chimpanzee starts becoming a big, strong primate and acting out, and it's dangerous. And she's like, yeah, but, we didn't know what we were doing. It was the 70s.
Oh, my God.
Which, that quote from that interview, which is in the trailer, and I forget the name of this. Somebody who listens to this, please email me this at Twitter or Facebook so I know what the name of this is. But that to me is sort of kind of what that album has in it.
Yeah.
Is some of these songs where you're like, I know your heart was in the right place. And it's sort of, I remember specifically to me, okay, I grew up, spent the first 11 years of my life in Madison, Wisconsin.
Right.
With my dad was a theater professor. My mom, did theater. That's where they met. And she also did, she was like a housewife, and then started getting into, as I got older, because I was the youngest, into like fundraising for non-for-profits, arts organizations.
Okay.
And, so it was me, my older brother, my two older sisters. And my brother and I weren't allowed to have toy guns.
Same here.
Yeah. Which I get.
Yeah.
But we're still boys.
Sure.
And we fought and wrestled and played every sport possible.
Right.
And, and then we moved to Evanston, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago.
Sure.
It's where Northwestern University is.
Yeah.
And Evanston has been integrated since the Civil War. So it's 40% minority.
Yeah.
And Madison is very much a white liberal town.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of white liberals who, there's not a lot of practical application. So then going to this school, it's a suburban school, but it's kind of inner city.
Yeah.
And, there's guys wanting to fight me and stuff. And I'm no fighting and hippie love and peace. And it's like, kind of like, wasn't necessarily 100% prepared. I wasn't trained,
Yeah.
and had hippie parents that just sort of like, well, whatever you want to do. And it's like, okay, but kids kind of need to be pushed.
Yeah.
You know, like, and my brother and I both got into sports. And of course, our parents were just like, supportive.
Sure.
But, like, I really want to do this. Well, that sounds great. Not like, okay, I'm going to get you a camp, and in the off season, you're going to a special,
Right.
Like my brother, his oldest daughter, she's 12, and she got a couple years ago started playing softball. For a bunch of 8, 9-year-old girls. Okay, that's fine. And then like age 10, age 11, it started to get more competitive.
Yeah.
And his daughter was like, I want to get better at this. And he's like, okay. And he got her in like, she's in off-season training. I was there over Thanksgiving. She throws a 35-mile-an-hour underhand fast pitch, like a rifle. A 12-year-old girl. But it's because she's like, and she wanted to be more competitive, so he got her in the traveling team. And she was swimming in the winter, and she's like quitting that and just focusing on, like, my hippie parents, just they're supportive.
Sure.
But not like,
not proactive.
Not like, all right, you really want to do this?
Yeah.
Let's go. I mean, had I said that with like dancing or singing, they probably would have gotten on board.
Sure.
Because they were artsy people. And just didn't. I think my mom especially just had no experience with men or boys.
Okay.
No brothers.
Yeah.
Dad died when she was a kid. No, nothing. Had no idea. So then, her daughter, she was great having daughters and girly and dress up and dolls. And then my brother and I were just these aggro, like we were aggressive boys,
Holy
like
shit.
fighty, aggressive, blow stuff up boys, and we kept being told, it's in the 70s. So like the women's movement was great. Feminism, I'm all for it.
Sure.
The problem with the 70s feminism, it never took the biology into account.
Uh-huh.
It took female biology into account. But then, I just heard all this throughout the 70s. Oh, man, they're so aggressive and everything.
Right.
I have chemicals in my body that make me as such.
Sure.
Like, it doesn't give me the right to be an asshole or go start fights. But when you have little boys...
Yeah.
Like, I remember my mom telling me... I had a very bad temper as a kid, and I'd lose a game or whatever, and I'd like throw a fit, and she'd be like saying stuff like, and this ties into Free to Be You and Me. Graham, when you're angry, it's okay to be angry. You just have to say, I'm angry. Oh, really? That's a young boy that's just full of piss and vinegar. He's going to stop.
Yeah, right.
Midway through tackle football and go, I'm angry. These are my feelings. Like, so 70s.
Yeah.
Like, great idea. Great theory.
Sure.
But there's no fucking way a boy as aggressive as my brother and I were.
Uh-huh.
And thank God we found football. Like, but I had to find it on my own.
Yeah.
Like, I found Pop Warner, like... Today, like my nieces and nephews, again, they're all in sports. All the boys do martial arts. Like, it's nonstop, the stuff that they're in.
That's funny.
And my parents were just like, yay, good for you. That's wonderful. Like, why don't we do some arts and crafts? And it's like, only if I can blow it up and then fight somebody. Like, it was... I think, I started studying martial arts a lot later in life. And I really wish I would have found it as a kid.
Yeah.
Because, like, organized, like, playing football was great. Because I definitely could get all that anger out. But that, again, is one of the reasons why I picked Free to Be You and Me. Because I look at it just like, oh, you hippies are so cute. You guys are so adorable. You're so lovely. I love what you think and say. And, it's like, like having gone overseas, right? And the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. And I get people being against them.
Sure.
I get that. I don't want to I'd like to live in a world without war.
Of course.
Totally would love to do that.
Yeah.
But then I hear here's a great example. I'm in Santa Monica, and this woman who, just came from a yoga class, and I'm sure has a coexist sticker on her car. I'm positive of it. And we're talking, me and my friend were talking. She sort of got in the conversation, and I said, well, hope, she goes, you got to have more than hope. You got to do it. You got to visualize. And basically was saying all this like the secret stuff, which is fine. Like, sure, some of the secret is nonsense. The overall concept of just be positive, okay, that's great.
Sure.
No one that's ever been highly successful did it by being like, this will fucking never work.
Of course.
But all they're like, and she's talking about, you just got to be positive, and I was talking with my buddy, I'm like, what the fuck does someone in a third world country say?
Right.
You know what? Hope might be the only thing they got. Because they're not having food or water that day.
Right.
And you with your $50 yoga mat, getting in your $35,000 Volvo or your Prius or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's
a little hard to self-actualize when you're starving.
Yes. Just put that energy out there. Okay, the Taliban's going to kill me because I'm a girl that's trying to get an education.
Yeah.
Like, and I would have these conversations with people, and I'm not like crazy right wing, and I've definitely leaned more left, but I'm definitely an independent. But like, getting into that, and I would say, and I've had this conversation with my eldest sister, who's a yoga teacher. She's very much of that ilk, And I was like, I said, one friend of mine who's a ranger, he went to Ranger, he was an airborne. And he provided security for a girls' school in Iraq.
Holy shit.
that had just been opened since we freed Iraq.
Wow.
And she just looked at me like she didn't know how to process that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what do you say to that?
Right.
Did we go over there for oil? Of course. Of course
Right.
we did.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Bush lied. We went over to Iraq specifically for oil. And we all drive cars. And we all have computers and cell phone.
Sure.
I have an iPhone. I have a laptop. They're all powered. They all need to be charged up.
Yep.
Most of that is by coal or oil burning
Yeah.
power plants.
Sure.
You know, and if you want to say you want to get more into alternative energy, I'm all for that. But there is a reality here. And then when I was in Afghanistan, I went into a hospital, and they're showing me photos of kids they had worked on.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of girls they had to work on because the Taliban was shooting rockets at girls' schools.
Holy shit.
And I'm just like, and I remember saying this to my sister and other like diehard liberals. And I would ask this question not to be a dick, but to literally ask, like, and I'd say, how do we deal with that?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Free to be you and me style? Let's all talk it out. You know, like, hey,
Right.
why are you angry, Taliban? Like, let's just talk. Like, and I was like, you know, it's, as I've said, anytime, and I know I'm like making this conversation more about the Middle East than I am about this album.
No, it's okay.
But it all relates. If you apply American logic to the Middle East,
Yeah.
be it conservative or or liberal,
Yeah.
it's not going to apply.
Of course.
It doesn't work.
Of course.
It doesn't work. And to me, like, free to be you and me is and again, I think it's great. Like, I think it's great to teach, especially young boys, it's okay to cry.
Sure.
Because bottling that up isn't good.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Right.
But there's so much stuff on those albums that
It's one thing to teach a kid who's already westernized and has, access and time to learn to be sensitive like we got. But if you're elsewhere where you're raised where that's just not even an issue. That's not an issue. They don't have time,
No, there's no time.
Yeah. So
like, I'll give you an example. Going back to Afghanistan. It's the most heavily mined country in the world.
Yeah.
Because of the Soviet invasion in the 80s. If a goat wanders into a minefield, a goat is a extremely valuable piece of livestock.
Yeah.
Because of the milk that you get from. I mean, it's really.
Sure.
You can feed your whole family. It's a big deal. So if you lose a goat, it's huge. The dad can't go out in the minefield because if he blows up, there's no money. They all starve and die.
Right.
The women, they're not going to let the mom. Just the women aren't. They're going to do that.
Right.
The boys can't because they're the next in line.
Yeah.
So because of the economics and the culture,
Yeah.
they have to send little girls out into the minefields to get the goat.
Holy shit. Bah.
There is no aspect of any type of American culture that has an equation that fits into.
No, you can't process that. I can't process that right now.
Make that decision.
Right.
We can't even. I mean, there's no. How do we even address that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I do.
And again, it's like we're privileged enough, like you say, to be able to teach young kids and young boys and young girls to be sensitive and express your feelings because they don't have to. Like, I remember reading something about child labor. And yeah, everyone in this country gets mad child labor is wrong, of course.
Sure.
But what do you do in a third world country where the dad dies, the mom is too hurt or injured to work or something like that?
Sure.
So the only one to work is the 10-year-old boy. And there's no social services, there's no food stamps, there's none of that, none of it. He's got to work to feed his younger brothers and sisters.
Right. Yeah.
It's awful.
Of course. Of course.
But, like, we got to shut that factory down.
But,
Those kids starve. I mean,
Right.
like, and
Right.
I'm not saying, oh,
No,
yay,
of course.
child labor.
Right,
You know
of course,
what I mean?
of course not.
But how do you deal with the realities of that situation? And
Listen to happy music.
you listen to Free to Be You and Me.
That's my only option.
You know, like, my nieces came to visit me 2 summers ago for surf camp. I was my idea, like, come for surf camp, and it was such a blast. And they're at the time they were 12 and 11. And they're 12-year-old girls. Like, oh my God, you know, I mean, whatever. They're being 12-year-old American girls, which is fine. And, a couple times we were like sitting at the beach, and I started telling them about, again, being in Afghanistan, which has clearly impacted my life very deeply. There's a lot of orphans in that country. And feeding them food through barbed wire. Like there's a little clip of it in my film Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Because the first time I'm terrified, I don't want to go up to the barbed wire fence, and at the end of the trip, we were feeding them at this base, Jalalabad, and that's how these kids eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is me handing a granola bar and a bottled water through razor wire.
Yeah.
And I'm explaining that to my 12-year-old nieces, and they're like, and I said, little girls your age, they can't go, the Taliban doesn't want them to learn, and when they get to be past a certain age, they have to wear a burqa, and
Yeah.
And so, what I think Free to Be You and Me is wonderful. I would like to see. Here's what I think America needs to do. I think they need to instill, like, not just a military draft, but everyone needs to do 2 years of service. You want to go into the armed forces? Great.
Sure.
You can do Peace Corps if you want. You can do AmeriCorps. You can do, like, Habitat for Humanity or something, but that's your job for 2 years, And I think it would change the fabric of this country.
Oh, there's no doubt.
So that to me is why Free to Be You and Me was a great attempt 35 years ago or whatever.
Did it influence your comedy at all, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
In terms of, well, the 7, I mean, yes, it did, because I wrestle with that. How do I be more clear? I wrestle with the optimist. Like, I want the optimist in me wants that.
Sure.
I want that type of a world. I want to live in a world without war. I want to live in a world where we all hug and kiss and get along and sing songs and stuff like that.
Sure, of course.
So it influenced me in that, and also there's so much of that I do make fun of some of that, like hippie, lovey stuff. Sure. And I did a show up in Mill Valley in October. Very liberal town, And I did 15, 20 minutes on, Indian dream catchers and organic food, and they went nuts. And my buddy who booked the show, Mark Pitta, is a very funny comic. He was like, dude, you knew all that. I go, I grew up in this. Yeah, yeah. I grew up in Madison, and I listened to Free to Be You and Me. Yeah. Which was so liberal, so hippie. So it has influenced me. Like, I did a thing, I think on my first album, I think it was, Comedians Got a Boo Boo on, it doesn't matter what type of music is being played in any sort of outdoor concert, always to the side of the stage is a hippie chick dancing alone. Yes. Okay, yeah. And that's from, I mean, you could say Free to Be You and Me sort of influenced that. Sure. And then just growing up in that era, and it influenced me in terms of, I mean, honestly, Rosie Greer influenced me. I mean, he sort of showed me that you can be tough and sensitive. Yeah, yeah. Like, you can be this badass. He was a dude. Yeah. He was a vicious defensive lineman, and could be in touch with your feelings and express them, and sort of taught me that And also, like, if you want to be an artist, you have to be willing to show sides of yourself, all sides of yourself,
Sure.
even sides that maybe you're not comfortable showing initially.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, that influenced me a lot. That album and that whole era.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in Marlo Thomas, I used to watch That Girl.
Sure.
And reruns and stuff because it was revolutionary. That's the other thing too. Like, that was revolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Tyler Moore show was very revolutionary. And the comedy from those influenced me for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the comedy, and even in that album, like, the songs did have a silliness to them. Like, it was as self-aware as you could be,
right,
for the time.
Yeah.
And that self-awareness has influenced me, I think.
I can see that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like in Afghanistan, where I'm just so much of the film is me just talking to the camera.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking to the camera and I'm getting all mad, and then I catch myself like, oh, you whiny fucking civilian! Like, you're here for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
These guys have signed up for 12-month deployments. They're
Yeah.
getting shot at, and the Afghanis have it 10 times harder than them.
Right.
Which is something like so many of the military would always point out. They're like, we don't have it nearly as tough as they do. Like, everyone was always so. Yeah, I think that's influenced me. I'm giving very long answers.
No, it's fine. Do you ever, and I'm going to sidetrack for a second, do you get shit for your, maybe not your experience, but your opinions, like in the comedy world? Do you ever get shit for it?
What do you mean?
Because you're not, obviously, again, like you said, you're not a crazy right-wing guy. You're very just left of center. Do you get shit for being strongly opinionated in a different way, I think, than you hear most comedians being?
Oh, you mean because I'm not super left?
Right.
Yeah, but I think it's yeah, sometimes because it's and I really try not to come in with a I always just try to when people come in with this and this, like I was talking with someone, a bunch of us were talking on the flying back from the Bridgetown Comedy Festival last year.
Uh-huh.
And, they were like, what are we doing? We got to get out of Afghanistan. What are we doing there? And I was like, well, we are coming out in 2014.
Yeah. Right.
The president said we're pulling out in 2014. Well, we got to get out now. And I'm like, I would just say, and I try not to get emotional about it. And, and not just because I'm going on there doesn't mean I'm some expert.
Right.
I've gotten to talk to commanding officers,
Sure.
and you see it firsthand.
Sure.
And you talk to soldiers and Marines and stuff, and you get a better sense than what you're getting on the news.
Called perspective.
Yeah, exactly. So, and they were like, we got to pull out. And I said, we'll be out in 2014. Well, that's not soon enough. I said, what do you expect? Do you expect you're going to take 100,000 people and all their equipment and everything and just yank them out of there?
Right.
In this country that's been at war for 40 years?
Yeah.
A tribal country? Like, what that's corrupt, and what do you think's going to happen? Yeah. Like, you just can't just get out because it sounds good on a campaign slogan. And I think, like, maybe I haven't taken like, oh, Graham, you're full of shit. At least maybe they're not saying that to my face. Maybe after I leave, they're like, wow, he's off his mind, or they brainwashed him over there or something. I don't know. But I just try to, like, because it's just, you can't, Colin Powell said it. Mm-hmm. The Middle East is the most complex geopolitical landscape in the history of the world.
Yeah.
So any sort of, like, right or left wing, like, bumper sticker slogan, the get her done. No, that's not going to work. Or just pull everyone out. Well, there's a huge house of cards there. Like, we did that. We all just left after the 80s. Mm-hmm. We were supplying the Mujahideen, or however you pronounce that. Mm-hmm. And then we just split.
Yeah.
We stopped supporting them, and they became the Taliban. Like, right. I mean, our lineage in the Middle East is a joke.
Sure.
And we're all a little culpable, and people don't want to hear that.
No.
When I say we're all culpable.
Right.
They go, what? I go, I go, I didn't vote for Bush. Mm-hmm. If you would have put a gun to my head and told me to vote for him, I would have said, pull the trigger. I'll see you in hell.
Yeah.
But I'm not shocked
Sure.
that the leader of 300 million oil addicts went, we got to get some oil.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I was at a dinner party and someone was like, oh, he just went over there for oil. I go, yeah. And I said, did any of us here ride our bikes to this dinner party? I didn't.
Right. Yeah.
Not throw myself into it, and people don't want to, they don't necessarily want to hear that. But.
Right. Do you, you were talking earlier about sitting around with your whole family listening to Steve Martin, which is very cool. It's one of the things we like to talk about. I like to talk about on this show with people is like communal comedy, like sharing it, either making friends over it or getting closer to your family or whatever. Did you have any experience like that with this or any other albums?
Yeah, we would listen to this. We would sit around and listen to comedy albums. Mm-hmm. Bill Cosby, Steve Martin, and we would listen to this. And this was played in classrooms a lot. This Free to Be. Yeah. It was played in a lot of classrooms. So that was. I have distinct memories of, like Christmas or Thanksgiving, we'd get together with a bunch of different families and all had kids around the same age, and we'd all sit around and listen to this.
That's so cool.
I remember Steve Martin, like doing the, opening it up with the plumber joke.
Yeah.
About the wrench or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I remember that. I remember, mind if I smoke? Mind if I fart? Like, I remember that and just like my whole family laughing. We all knew the jokes were coming because we heard it a bunch of times. I remember that distinctly. And that kind of is what was one of the motivations for doing the LA Podcast Festival.
Yeah.
Because listening to podcasts is usually a very individual thing.
Yeah.
Most people, although I do hear some couples that come up to me off the road and they're like, oh my God, my wife and I, like one couple is like, Sunday is when we clean the house and we turn on podcasts and we clean the house.
Yeah. That's one of the things she and I connected over was a podcast.
So. Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So totally get it.
I've met a lot of couples who've connected, which is a really cool thing. Mm-hmm. But most people listen to them alone.
At work.
Exactly. Or commuting or working out or something like that. So like one of the things I want to do, because I'd met all these people on the road who come up to me and say, oh, I love Comedy Film Nerds, or I heard you on Never Not Funny or whatever. And this is what we wanted to do. And this was one of the coolest things I heard from all of the fans after the first year was it was so great being in a place where I didn't have to explain what a podcast was.
Right.
Because, every day, dude, right?
Yes.
So what is it? It's a radio show? You can download it. So what time is it on? Whenever you want. It's whenever you want to listen to it. So, that's what we wanted to do with the Podcast Festival, because I remember that as a kid, listening to albums. And then, going out and doing shows with Doug Benson and the Doug Love movie fans, they all come out and his show is a live show. So it is sort of a communal experience. Sure. I like kind of recreating that.
Yeah, I can see that. Do you remember when did you first start realizing you were funny or that you wanted to do something with being funny?
Well, like I said, I'm the youngest of four with theater parents. So to get the center of attention, you had to be good. Yeah. You had to really be good.
Makes sense.
So we were always performing and doing plays and shows and being the youngest. And so I just kind of knew that I could do that. Mm-hmm. And it was when I was a freshman in college that I really went. I sort of resisted it in high school. Mm-hmm. Sort of just like, whatever, teenage rebellion. Like, I'm not going to do what Dad did, so I'm going to play football and become a stockbroker or something like that. Which is ridiculous. Yeah. But, so I was in college and there was a stand-up comedy competition that was coming through. I went to University of Arizona in Tucson.
Oh, okay.
And it was the U.S. College Comedy Competition. And I signed up for it, and it was emceed by Judd Apatow.
Shit. Nice.
Who was wearing acid wash jeans, and he had a mullet. Yeah, he had a mullet.
Oh, that's good stuff.
I think the clip is on my YouTube channel.
Awesome.
So that's when I did that, I was like, okay, and I changed my major from economics to film.
Yeah.
And that was that was it.
Yeah.
Then I did stand up in Tucson. I did open mics at Laughs Comedy Club, and I did shows around campus. Mm-hmm. And I got to open for Pauly Shore and Carol Leifer and Paul Reiser.
Jesus.
It was awesome. Like,
that's insane.
I got to open for them in college. It was like, wow. In like theater gigs.
Yeah.
Like, it was, that was cool.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a big deal. And so, that's when I knew it was college. So first time I was performed, I was 18. First time I was ever on a stage, I was 4.
Shit.
So.
Yeah. You hear a lot of stories like that. Like guys like Simon Pegg has he's like my hero, so I don't stop talking about him. But like same kind of stories, like kind of born on the stage, which you don't hear about as much anymore. I feel like, if you ever read Chaplin's biography, that like that's the most tragic thing in the world. But being put on the stage when you're practically a fucking newborn, one of my favorite stories ever. But I feel like your energy do you get your energy on stage from having that experience in theater? I'm just curious, because not as many people are as energetic on stage as you are. You've got like a lot of people don't have that. Like if I'm going to compare two comics, compare you and Doug Benson, like you're just diametric opposites energy wise. I feel like.
Well, I think I've always had a lot of energy. Mm-hmm. I just have a lot of energy. Mm-hmm. I mean, like when I was married, my wife was like, I don't know, 12, 13 years younger than me. Mm-hmm. And I would wake up every morning like, let's go. And she'd be like, I want to sleep in. I'm like, let's do it. Like I have always been that. Yeah. Really energetic. It's why I had to play sports. Like when I wasn't, it was just too much trouble to get into. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I always had a lot of energy, and I think it was just sort of cultivated and focused on stage.
Yeah. Do you? I mean, because I feel like when I hear about stand-ups talking about how they got started, it doesn't always start with a theater background, though. I mean, did that help you just being comfortable on stage? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think always performing. I think just like. And having parents that were performers, it was always encouraged. It was never like, oh, you got to get a real job.
Sure.
Like, film was not a real degree. I never heard that. Mm-hmm. So I never even, the idea that I shouldn't do it, mm-hmm. like, wasn't really there. I mean, there were definitely times when I'd be struggling for money and think, oh man, maybe I should get a regular job. Sure. But like, there was never any pressure for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there was never any like, you got to get a good job, you got to settle down, you got to get married, you got to cut the horsing around, like none of that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I guess that would add to somebody's level of commitment to have that constantly. You're never coming back to a phone call that says, well,
It was funny. When I did get married, and I first got married, and like my money, I had some financial trouble. My money was tight, and mm-hmm. I remember like all my mom and dad and stepmom even all kind of hinted at, because it was a woman from another country, so I had to support her, and they were all like, okay, if you're gonna support somebody, like. Yeah. What are you gonna do here? And I wasn't working, getting much work, and mm-hmm. like the game show stuff had ended, and no one was making game shows anymore, and I couldn't get an agent for any. Even though I studied Meisner for 10 years and was like, sitcoms, comedy movies, hello.
Right.
No, I couldn't get agents or managers to even consider me in that regard, mm-hmm. and it was just a really difficult time financially, and that was the first and only time they all kind of were like. Maybe it's time to, maybe Peter Pan days are over. Mm-hmm. And then I was just like, what? Like, this is who I am. Yeah. It's like what Joan Rivers said in the Louis C.K. show. She said, being a comic isn't a profession, it's a calling. Yeah. It's not you don't pick this job. Yeah. It's who you have to do it. There's no other choice. Right. And then, so that was like 2007-ish when I started to hear that from my folks, and I was like getting ready to get married and was having money trouble, and which maybe I shouldn't have got married, as the divorce would later prove to be correct. And So, and then Doug was like, right at that time, he was really on the rise, and he was like, "Do you want to go open for me?" Like,
Yeah.
He goes, "I know you're kind of a headliner. I don't want to insult you." And I was like, "I don't give a shit. I need to work."
Right.
So, and then I remember, like, a couple years later, like maybe 2010 or something, and I'd been on the road with Doug like for 2 years straight.
Yeah.
And my dad saw me perform. I can't remember where. It might have been the Wilbur Theater in Boston, like a 700-seat theater.
Yeah.
And he came up to me afterwards and he goes, "You're at the top of your game."
That's awesome.
He's like, it's amazing what you're doing. You're at the top of your game. No, it was at Caroline's in New York.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I was playing on Broadway, and that's a big, my dad's a theater guy.
Yeah.
He's like, "Son, you're on Broadway." I go, "Dad, it's just a comedy club." He goes, "It's a comedy club on Broadway."
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I didn't even think of it that way.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You are at the top of your game." And he just said, and I just saw it in his face. He was just like, "Go. I got it. You, this is it. This is
so
this,
cool.
You've been doing this your whole entire." And I'm like, "Yeah, I've been doing this my entire adult life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know anything else."
Right.
So it has to work.
Out of curiosity.
So seriously, go to GrahamElwood.com and buy my CD. Anyway.
Do I can't imagine you do, but as stand-ups that are traveling together, is there much communal comedy outside of just fucking around with each other and making fun of each other? Do you listen to anything, or like is that just?
It's interesting that you say that. Yes, there's obviously a lot of we just fuck around, and Doug and I, we're like an old married couple now the way we travel. But we have in rental cars that have XM. We'll listen to the Comedy Channel.
Oh, okay.
We've done that. We don't do it like all the time, but we'll do that. And we're like, "Oh shit, this guy's an actor. I haven't heard this guy's CD."
Yeah.
Because a lot of it is, I'm on the road so much, I'm not watching Comedy Central. I'm not watching people's specials.
Sure.
So I'm not I want to, and I don't get to see my friends perform as much.
Yeah.
So that's been kind of cool. And like, if we definitely, like, we do these 420 shows on a Saturday afternoon or something at a club, and they're like, "Oh, a friend we know." Like one time we were at the Pittsburgh Improv. We did a 420 show, and Eddie Ift was doing the 8 o'clock show, and we went and saw that. God, I forget his name. He wrote for, this is the worst. Kevin, God, he wrote for Dave Chappelle. God, is he funny? I'm blanking on his name. We were in Charlotte. Oh, he's going to kill me. Kevin,
I'll put some hold music over this.
Good Christ. Anyway, so yes, we will then go, "Oh, let's go check that guy's set out."
Okay.
We want to go watch guys because I just don't get to see as much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's probably about as communal as Doug and I get with that.
Is there? I don't remember where I heard it the other day. It was probably on another podcast where some it was Aziz Ansari talking about how he doesn't really watch much. I could be misquoting. It might have been another stand-up. Fuck that. So just wipe that off the board. Some stand-up talking about how they don't watch comedy. Not necessarily they don't listen to stand-up, but they don't watch anything when they're watching TV or movies. They'd rather watch drama because it just doesn't. It was Dimitri Martin. Doesn't really satisfy them. Do you ever find that? But
Yes.
The thing is, I know you're a film guy, so it's different for you. Probably.
Yeah, it is different for me, but it is harder for me to watch a comedy film because I'm so critical of it, and I also just like. Again, like kind of what Dimitri said, I do like. I mean, all the shows I watch, Mad Men, Justified, Breaking Bad. I'll watch 30 Rock on occasion because it's on United planes. Because I fly United, and it's hilarious.
Sure.
The Office is hilarious. In Parks and Rec is very funny.
Yeah.
But am I gonna like sit down and watch it every week or get it on Netflix and burn through a season of DVDs in 4 days? No.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's just because I'm just watching it. So, I mean, I watch all movies very critically, obviously, but it's easier for me to get sort of drawn in to a drama.
Yeah.
Because a comedy, I'm just like, you could have done a better joke. Or
Sure.
there is that.
Yeah.
And the comedy, the mainstream big budget comedy movies. Paul Rudd. I got it. Yeah, I'm keenly aware he's a comedic actor. And I think he's funny. I've even met him. He's a nice guy. But does he have to be in every single comedy film? Do we have to put the same 4 guys in everything? I mean, all right. Those are the only people that are funny out there? Like, and I'm sure Hollywood's got some, well, these guys can open a opening weekend.
Right.
And this is where you're wrong, Hollywood. Mm-hmm. A funny trailer will open a movie.
Sure.
Especially now, in this social media day and age. Mm-hmm. You remember when The Hangover came out?
Oh, yeah.
None of those guys were famous. None of them. And that movie had a hilarious trailer, and then it had a great opening weekend, but it did better in its second and third and fourth weekends because of word of mouth.
Sure.
Because the word got out. Everyone was on. I mean, by Friday night, Twitter's going to let you know if a movie was good or not. You know, and so if a movie's awesome and people start hearing, oh, my friend said it was funny, I saw a post on Facebook that said it was funny and Twitter was funny, oh man, this movie's I'm going to go check this out.
Yeah.
So they need to like get some new blood out there because I just can't watch Paul Rudd and Jennifer Aniston or whatever. I just can't do it. You know, and I used to really like him.
Sure.
But I just can't watch him doing the same thing all the time. I just, like, shake it up.
Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure. I don't want to keep you too long. But
We're good.
we always ask, well, I always ask people, that is, first of all, do you miss buying albums and holding them in your hand, or does it matter to you since you're an on-the-road guy and probably...
You know, I did used to like the physical CD. There's part of me that does like the physical CD. But then I am on the road and I have an iPhone. And like, I do like the aspect. I mean, like I liked going to record stores and buying the CD and picking it up and holding it, looking at the album art. I really like that.
Yeah.
I still kind of like that, even though there's 4 record stores left in the whole world.
Yep.
But it is cool now. Like, we were working at this comedy club in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and the show was over and everything. The staff is cleaning up, and there was this cool like hip hop playing. I'm like, who's that? And they're like, I don't know. And then I did what's it, Shazam or whatever that.
Oh yeah.
Listens to it and tells you what it is, and I'm like, oh, it's this band called Soul Position. Went to iTunes and bought it right there.
Yeah.
And then I'm listening to it on the plane the next day. That was awesome.
Yeah. Right.
That I dig. And so I think I don't know. There is a part of me that does like the physical album. But obviously everything's going digital, and to be able to just download like that and to have it immediate access is kind of cool.
If you were gonna recommend this album to people to listen to it, what would be your instinct? Why would you say to give this thing a listen?
Free to Be You and Me?
Yeah.
If you've never heard it, first of all, it's funny. Some of the songs are actually funny, but then a lot of them are very sort of ironically funny.
Sure.
And so you're getting both. You're getting to hear... Like, there's moments in that when you listen to this album, you're going to be like, oh, my God, what a bunch of lunatics in the 70s.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be moments you're going to go, oh, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Or that was like, if you're a girl, you're going to listen to it and you're going to, oh, you're going to do that a couple of times. So I don't know. It's such a window into a specific time in America.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then if you don't know who Rosie Greer is, Google him. He's this big black dude who was an NFL defensive lineman in the 70s.
And look at that picture while you listen to the song.
And look at that picture. Like, get some Google, go to some, I'm sure he's on Wikipedia or whatever. And he did a lot of on-camera stuff, too. He was in a lot of TV shows.
Yeah.
So watch him, like, look at pictures of that, and then listen to him tell you it's all right to cry. That song will make you cry.
Oh, yeah.
It'll make you cry.
Oh, yeah.
So that alone is worth it.
Yeah, I made the mistake the first time I listened to this on the way to the first podcast I ever did about it. I was listening to it on the way there, and it's like some of it's very emotional. And I'm driving, and I'm like, I'm a pussy, so I'm like listening to this. I'm like, God, oh, this is so sweet.
It
like,
is.
Get the,
It's so
don't crash.
earnest.
Yeah, Yeah.
Like, they're so genuine in what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that is worth it alone.
Yeah.
That alone. And if you can get the vinyl album, the album art is so 70s.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
It's like Sesame Street and Yellow Submarine all together. Like, it's the Yellow Submarine artwork with the Sesame Street in there. It's so... Yeah.
It's great. Why don't you plug some things? Plug everything.
Plug the world.
Yes.
Well, if you want to listen to my podcast, Comedy Film Nerds, or my documentary, Afghanistan, or my new album, Graham Elwood's Palm Strike Dance Party, my tour dates, it is all available at grahamelwood.com. When is this going to go up?
This week. Probably.
Okay.
Next week.
I'll be headlining Zanies in Chicago, February 6th through 10th, the Downtown Zanies. Again, this is all at grahamelwood.com. And I will be in March 13th at the Zanies in Nashville, and then March 14th through 16 at the Comedy Attic in Bloomington. But again, if you go to grahamelwood.com, you can get all this stuff. My podcast, my film, Twitter, Facebook, all of it. My YouTube channel, it's all there.
Nobody else makes it that simple. Thank you very
Boom.
much. Boom.
One-stop shop,
I have
kid.
to do so much research when I'm making these blog entries for this shit.
It's all right to cry.
I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Graham, thank you so much for doing the
thanks,
show.
dude. Anytime.
This was awesome. And I will plug one thing. Everybody, if you're in the LA area, don't travel for this. You're not going to. I do a show every month called The Drinking Game, and this month we're doing Top Gun. It's a stage reading / drinking game. The audience drinks, we drinks. We drinks? Yep. Apparently, I've already had a few.
I love Top Gun,
and it should be pretty amazing.
That's
We're
right.
doing it on the
Ice.
16th.
Man, I am dangerous. Is this February 16th?
February 16th, Saturday. It's gonna be good shit. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and yeah. So enjoy that. Like that on Facebook, and if you don't already like this on Facebook, please do.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Everybody, have a wonderful time and have a good thing. Thank you.
Have a good thing. Enjoy your thing.
Comedy on Vinyl is a production of Stolen Dress Entertainment. It is produced by Mike Warden and is hosted and edited by Jason Klom. Visit stolendress.com to listen to our other podcasts, read our blogs, read our tweets, watch our videos, and read our books. Please subscribe on iTunes, rate us highly, and write your reviews. You can follow us on facebook.com/comedyonvinyl and Twitter @comedyonvinyl.
She shouted out with glee. Up came a happy, he threw me in the cut. The only thing that kept me afloat was holding me coconut.